At the Flowers Banquet, I saved the aloof prime minister who had fallen into the water. Chen has no way to repay you. Then let me see your legs. I will reward you handsomely. I want to see your legs. I owe you a favor. So, can I see your legs? From then on, everyone in the capital knew that the silly young lady from the Lin family had taken a fancy to the distinguished prime minister. On the day the emperor granted the marriage, Chen had a cold expression and praised my good tactics. Later, he still accepted the marriage proposal. Well, you're so silly, no one else would want you. But unexpectedly, I saw the crown prince trying to coax me with candy. Xixi, do you want to play the lip-biting game in the romance story? Ding! This novel reminds you to click the subscribe button in the bottom right corner to read the complete novel. Chen fell into the water. Upon hearing the news, I rushed into the lake, afraid of being a second too late. When I dragged him ashore, the watching ladies covered their faces and ran away. Chen was wearing light clothes and thin gauze. And at this moment, he was completely soaked, his chest half exposed. The older women, however, watched with great interest. I also watched with great interest. Ahem, thank you, second Miss Lin, for your rescue. Chen has no way to repay you. He cupped his hands in thanks, his voice clear and cold. Chen had a handsome appearance, with deep eyes, slightly furrowed brows, and captivating peach blossom eyes. I propped my chin and looked down at his waist and abdomen. Then let me see your legs. He was stunned, the red mole at the corner of his eye trembling slightly, his face turning pale. He quickly changed his tone. Thank you, miss, I will reward you handsomely. I want to see your legs. I scratched my butt anxiously. His light clothes and thin gauze clinging to his legs, vaguely revealing some contours. Chen's ears suddenly turned red, and he pressed his lips tightly. Then, how about I owe you a favor? Yes. I nodded. Favors are good. My birth mother said that favors are the most valuable things in the world. And I like valuable things. He wiped the water droplets from his forehead, seemingly quietly relieved. My gaze remained fixed on those legs. So, can I see your legs? He widened his eyes in disbelief. You. After a long time, he spat out 2 words fiercely. No way. I lowered my eyes, feeling a bit aggrieved. If you won't let me see, then I won't look at your legs. Hee, can I see your waist? Splash. Chen fainted happily. And I ran 10 miles excitedly. My mother said that if a man is willing to fall for a woman, it means he likes her. Fainting is also falling. So, Chen likes me. I ran home happily to tell my father the good news. Father, I'm going to have a husband. He spat out a mouthful of tea, probably overwhelmed with excitement. What husband? Where did he come from? I fished him out of the water, a big husband, very handsome. He listened and squinted his eyes with a smile. Xixi, don't tease your father. Father actually didn't believe me. Seeing him still smiling, I anxiously spun around on the spot. Chen, my husband is called Chen. After listening to my story of heroically saving the beauty, Father suddenly stood up, and the teacup fell to the ground. The fat around his waist trembled. It's over! Lin Xixi, you really are my good daughter. I chuckled. Father, don't praise me. He suddenly pulled out a feather duster from behind, his tone serious. Who wants to praise you? You little rascal, I'll beat you to death. I ran away screaming, and Father chased after me screaming. In the distance, I saw my elder sister coming over. I quickly threw myself into her arms. Sister, save me! She protected me, constantly begging for mercy. Father, Xixi is still young, she's still a child. Besides, what's wrong with looking at legs as a favor for saving a life? Prime Minister Gu is too stingy. Father roared loudly, you just indulge her. Before long, I was kneeling in the ancestral hall. Lost in thought, I couldn't understand. I am so clever and smart, I can even find my own husband, why does father still want to beat me? Xixi feels aggrieved, Xixi wants to cry. It's even more painful than being called a fool. Since I was young, outsiders have said I'm foolish. But I'm not foolish at all. I know that a husband should be chosen based on appearance. Because my mother once said that a handsome husband with broad shoulders, a thick chest, a slim waist, and long legs is a rare find, and you must act quickly. I asked her how to act, how to be quick. She patted my head and laughed. Xixi will understand when you grow up. Don't worry, I will help you. Later, I grew up, but she became a small wooden plaque. Before she closed her eyes, her voice was intermittent. Find a handsome one, with a slim waist and long legs, who will care for you. My Xixi must have a lifetime of happiness. I cried with snot and tears all over my face, Xixi remembers. After coming of age, I began to look forward to a husband with a slim waist and long legs, who could play with me, buy me delicious food, and coax me to sleep. I didn't expect my luck to be so good, to meet Chen at a banquet. He was like a charming male spirit from a romance story, captivating me completely. In the ancestral hall, I couldn't sleep well, but I had a dream. In the dream, Chen took my hand and guided me to touch him. Dressed in red, his eyes were enchanting. Xixi, is my waist slim? Are my legs long? I smiled sweetly. The next day, my father dragged me to the Gu residence to apologize. Prime Minister, it's my fault for not teaching my daughter properly. My daughter is a bit foolish, please be generous and don't hold it against her. Thinking of the dream I had last night, I felt a tickle in my heart and secretly glanced at him. Chen sat there, expressionless. What a cold husband. He spoke indifferently. Mr. Lin, do you know what rumors are circulating about me and your second daughter? My father wiped his sweat with a handkerchief. Just rumors, you don't need to take them to heart. Chen squeezed his fan until it creaked, his eyes lifted slightly. They're saying that at the Flowers Banquet, Miss Lin heroically saved me. And I, the Prime Minister, grateful for the favor, showed my leg to Miss Lin. The two were so affectionate, looking at the leg as if they didn't know what the world was. I stood up abruptly, indignant. That's not true, they're talking nonsense. My father looked at me with tears of relief in his eyes. Yes, it's all a misunderstanding, my daughter is not like that. I proudly lifted my little head. He didn't show me his leg at all. Not even his waist, stingy man. I saw my father sway. Useless thing, Lin Xixi, you're really something. My father fainted. After returning home, my older sister asked if I had done something to wrong Chen at the banquet. I scratched my head and smiled shyly. No, he didn't show his leg, nor his waist. Actually, I wanted to see his chest more, but I guess he wouldn't show that either. My sister quickly covered my mouth. My little ancestor, you're really bold, just looking at the leg is enough, that's Chen. The Prime Minister, one above all and below none, our Lin family can't afford to offend him. Now the whole capital is talking about how you publicly humiliated the Prime Minister and sullied his reputation. Xixi, what will happen to your reputation? My sister cried with distress. I was at a loss, dumbfounded. Sister, did Xixi do something wrong? She forced a smile. Don't worry, Xixi, we will all protect you. In just a few days, the rumors became more and more outrageous, saying that Chen and I had been making love at the Flowers Banquet, and had no sense of propriety, righteousness, or shame. It even reached the palace. The emperor, intrigued, summoned Chen and me to the palace. They say you're a fool, but I disagree. Being interested in my prime minister shows you have good taste. Xixi, do you want to see his leg every day? The emperor in the yellow robe asked me teasingly from above. Chen's Adam's apple moved, his ears turned red. His handsome face and jade-like posture made me a little dazed. I do. I answered softly, making the emperor laugh. When we came out, I had a marriage decree in my hand. Chen's face suddenly turned cold, the red mole faded a bit, and he jabbed my forehead with his finger. It hurt. Lin Xixi, you really have a good tactic. But I, Chen, will not marry a fool. Chen was angry. I had no choice but to get up early and buy the most expensive and sweetest pastries in the entire capital. My older sister used to coax me like this. Once the pastries were eaten, the anger would dissipate. Chen. Just as I left the pastry shop, I saw his carriage. Dressed in dark clothes, he looked exceptionally handsome. I handed the pastries to him, they're delicious and very sweet. He frowned. Xixi, are you still a child? Suddenly, a mocking laugh came from inside the carriage. Let her come up. A voice full of authority pressed down on me. After getting into the carriage, I realized that Chen was escorting the Grand Princess and her daughter, Duchess Lanlan, to the royal temple for blessings today. Duchess Lanlan was about my age, bright and charming. She reached out and touched my face. Oh, mother, she has dimples, so cute. The Grand Princess looked at me for a long time. At Royal Temple, the Grand Princess led Duchess Lanlan to offer incense. I hid behind Chen, following his every step, stepping on his shadow. Xixi, stop messing around, will you? His voice was icy and cold, full of anger. I seized the moment and stuffed a piece of peach blossom pastry into his mouth. MMPH. My fingers accidentally touched his lips, soft and smooth, cool to the touch. His body suddenly trembled, the corners of his eyes reddening. Chewing, he pounded his chest and swallowed hard. Is it good? It's not bad, just a bit choking. I was overjoyed. After eating the pastry, he shouldn't be angry with me anymore. The temple's abbot came to offer blessings and resolve wishes for the Grand Princess and the Duchess. Mother, when will Brother Crown Prince return to the capital? Your daughter has come of age, she should get married. Duchess Lanlan pouted and acted spoiled, making the Grand Princess feel affectionate. Girls grow up and can't be kept. Don't you want to spend more time with your mother? I do. I slowly lowered my head. Chen's gaze shifted over. What's wrong? My chest felt stuffy. I miss my mother. Before, my mother would hold me like this and comfort me. Suddenly, the temple became chaotic, and someone shouted. Robbers are here. An arrow shot towards Chen, and I was stunned, raising my hand to push him away. A sharp pain pierced my chest. Before fainting, I saw Chen rushing towards the Grand Princess and them, his eyes full of anxiety. I seemed to dream again, but this time I didn't dream of Chen. A group of wild beasts surrounded me, tearing at me recklessly. I was crying, continuously crying. Familiar voices gradually reached my ears. Xixi, don't scare father. Xixi, sister will buy you lots of storybooks in the future. Xixi, as long as you wake up, I'll do anything for you. I tried to open my eyes. Xixi is awake, I want to see your legs. Chen's tightly furrowed brows relaxed, his chin covered with stubble. A faint smile appeared at the corner of his lips. You saved me again. Father was crying like a tearful mess. Sister held me in her arms, crying so hard she couldn't catch her breath. Xixi, don't take risks in the future. After speaking, she glared fiercely at Chen. My Xixi may be foolish, but she's not easy to bully. She doesn't understand the twists and turns, she only knows to be good to you because she likes you. Since you have Duchess Lanlan in your heart, you should ask His Majesty to annul this engagement. Our Lin family doesn't sell daughters for glory. I clung tightly to sister's sleeve, not knowing what had happened. Chen remained silent, looking utterly dejected. I smiled at him, but his eyes turned red. It's not that, I didn't want to annul the engagement. Xixi, don't leave me. I used to fear pain the most, but now I find there's a benefit to pain. Father spent a lot of money for me. Sister made delicious food for me every day, showing me her treasured storybooks. And Chen, always sending me things. Ginseng, lingji, gold and silver treasures, countless items. When I recovered a bit, he invited me out to play. My father and sister disagreed, so he stood outside the mansion, enduring the scorching sun for 3 hours. I peeked over the wall with a small face, he forced a smile, holding a melted peach blossom pastry. Sorry, it's inedible, tomorrow I'll queue up to buy more. Supporting me, my sister cursed below. Dog man, changing his heart so quickly. Rumors spread in the capital again, saying that Prime Minister Gu was infatuated with Lin family's little fool, waiting outside the mansion every day with eager anticipation. The emperor heard and pressured my father. Dear Minister, love between children is a common thing, just a little misunderstanding. They are engaged after all, there's no reason they can't meet. Chen took me to see the peach blossoms outside the city. He fed me peach blossom pastries, feeding one to me, and I ate one. Completely unlike his previous cold demeanor. I curiously asked him, Chen, why are you so nice to me now? His hand paused, then he smiled with relief. Xixi, let me tell you a story. His story was actually not much different from what my sister told. It was about how Duchess Lanlan saved young Chen. Also, she saved him from the water. His eyes carried a smile, his usually calm gaze filled with warmth. Her kindness, I repaid on the day of the assassination. Xixi, I won't abandon you anymore. My elder sister asked me if I liked Chen. And if not, the Lin family could break off the engagement. Xixi, even though Chen is repaying a favor, but... My elder sister was so anxious that she stomped her foot. But that day he just left you like that, it was really infuriating. She rambled on and on to me about many things. She even talked about the time when we secretly went out to play as children and she ended up losing me. At that time, you were soaking wet, it scared me to death. She said I had fallen into the water before, but luckily I was good at swimming since I was little. I patted my head, not remembering any of it. I always forget many things. Xixi, do you really like him? My elder sister placed her hands on my shoulders, gently and softly. Suddenly, I had a feeling that she didn't want me to marry Chen. Forget it, what do you know about liking someone? But fortunately, Duchess Lanlan will no longer be a thorn between you two. My elder sister's lips moved. I suddenly remembered that day at the royal temple. When I fed Chen pastries, his lips were as red as my elder sister's. Yes, Xixi likes him. Upon hearing this, my elder sister breathed a sigh of relief. In that case, you and Chen should be well together. If you are bullied, speak up, father, and I will always protect you. My elder sister said that Duchess Lanlan was appointed as the marriage alliance princess. And was going to the South Barbarians. Also, the Mad Crown Prince has returned to the capital. The emperor was particularly attentive to my marriage with Chen. He had the astrologer choose a good date and prepared boxes and boxes of dowry for me. My father sighed when he saw it. Xixi, father can't bear to let you go. I pressed my face against the gold, grinning widely. Ah, father, what did you say? Xixi didn't hear clearly. He puffed his beard, little heartless one. Chen took me out to play again. Chen, what delicious food did you bring me today? I wanted to call him husband. But he shook his head and gently poked my cheek with his finger. But looking closely, his ears were red, even his fingertips were red. I suddenly wanted to tease him. Chen, can I look at your legs? He handed me fresh apricot cake, smiling charmingly. Xixi, on the wedding night, you can look at more than just legs. I rubbed my little hands, full of anticipation. But I never got the chance. After eating the cake, I fainted. When I opened my eyes again, several people surrounded me. Grinning hideously, their mouths full of filth. 3 days later, the South Barbarians will come to the station to pick up the marriage alliance princess. Why don't we brothers taste the princess's flavor for that barbarian first? You don't say, the princess is tender. Although my mind was dull, I understood their meaning. I was mistaken for the marriage alliance princess, sent to the station. Those cakes had problems. I thought, I should never like Chen anymore. I am not the marriage alliance princess, I am the daughter of the Lin family. I desperately explained, begging them to let me go. Tears flowed uncontrollably. One of them spoke, mouth full of yellow teeth, face and eyes full of desire. Little beauty, who are you trying to fool? Today, it was Chen, the prime minister, who personally escorted the marriage alliance princess to the station. How could there be a mistake? The daughter of the Lin family? Ha ha ha, I heard the prime minister Gu is marrying the daughter of the Lin family. You wouldn't be trying to trick me, you are his fiancé, right? He's not stupid enough to send his fiancé to the South Barbarians for a marriage alliance, is he? They spoke, sneering, reaching out their hands towards me. I could even smell their foul stench. It hurt, the wound on my chest hurt terribly. The red wedding dress on me was glaring, every pearl embedded in it was trembling. I felt like a dying fish, drowning in the abyss, unable to struggle, unable to escape. Suddenly, I remembered my elder sister's words. Xixi, do you truly like Gu Chen? I tightly closed my eyes. No more. Lin Xixi will never like Gu Chen again. I thought of the scene when my mother passed away. She stroked me over and over, full of reluctance and regret. My Xixi. I wish I could watch you grow up. Find a husband who loves you, that's most important. Mother, it turns out they were all right. I seem to be really foolish. Otherwise, why did I choose someone who doesn't love me? Ah. The sound of a blade slicing through flesh came to my ears, full of killing intent. The foul stench gradually dissipated, and I was gently picked up, falling into a warm embrace. I'm sorry, I came late. I didn't recognize this voice, but I craved his presence. Even though he had a strong scent of blood on him. But he was safe, reliable, the only one I could hold on to now. I curled myself into a small ball, cautiously trying to please. Thank you, Xixi thanks you. Xixi's father has silver, he will give you lots and lots of silver, don't leave Xixi. I tightly clutched the waistband, afraid that the next second this person would abandon me. Don't be afraid, it's okay now. His voice was muffled, somewhat shaking, with a hint of pity. It's the kind of pity that father and elder sister show when they feel sorry for me. I missed them. I wanted to go home. I caught a cold. My whole body was burning, and I lay weakly on the silk bed. Miss, let me feed you. Just as I opened my mouth, the medicine in the maid's hand was taken by a man. I'll do it. The medicine was bitter and hard to swallow. I forced myself to swallow spoonful after spoonful. I kept my eyes down, not daring to look up. Suddenly, a piece of candy was stuffed into my mouth, sweet and delightful. I remember you never liked bitter things. With me, you don't have to endure it. You can have whatever you want. Why don't you look up, like a little quail? Are you afraid of me? I quickly waved my hand, eating the candy and mumbling an explanation. No, no, the Savior's voice is gentle, you must be a good person. You saved me, I'm naturally not afraid. I slowly raised my eyes and finally saw his face. His handsome features seemed natural, with gentleness in his brows. A soft smile at the corners of his lips, and eyes that seemed to laugh. Like a jade fairy from a storybook, saving all beings. Except for the long scar on his left cheek. His slender fingers caressed the scar, looking a bit lost. It's a bit ugly. I shook my head like a rattle. No, no, the Savior's scar isn't ugly. You're the most handsome person I've ever seen. His eyes curved, amused by my words. But I don't want to just be a savior. I hurriedly bowed, kowtowing on the bed. Okay, it's only right for you to be my godfather. Godfather, please accept my greetings. He burst into laughter. Xixi, you're quite clever. Besides my father and elder sister, he was the first to praise my cleverness. I said I wanted to return to the Lin Manor, but he didn't respond, tapping his fingers on the table. You should stay here to recover. Later, I'll bring people from the Lin Manor. I was deeply grateful, and as he was about to leave, I reached out to tug his sleeve. I don't know your identity, so I can repay you. He turned back and smiled at me. Zhou Shermu, everyone calls me the Crown Prince. My hand froze in midair, Zhou Shermu. My elder sister once said he was the Crown Prince, a bloodthirsty madman. I turned into a quail again, hiding in the room and not coming out. Counting my fingers, waiting for my father and elder sister to come and fetch me. Zhou Shermu saw me like this and laughed so hard he couldn't hold his teacup steady. Xixi, are there monsters here? I wanted to say no, but I had already seen the real monsters. I just wanted to go home now. Xixi. At the end of the corridor stood two familiar figures. It was my father and elder sister. I cried as I ran to them, letting out all my sad emotions. Father, sister, Xixi is a fool, I was tricked, sob sob. Let's go home, Xixi wants to go home. My father cried, bowing to Zhou Shermu, thank you, your highness. After returning to the Lin Manor, I slept for 3 days and nights. When I woke up, my elder sister told me that father had gone to the palace. Gu Chen, that scoundrel, dared to harm you for Duchess Lan Lan. Our Lin family won't swallow this. Xixi, you've suffered. I moved a small stool, waiting for father in the courtyard. I waited and waited, but didn't see father. Instead, I saw someone I didn't want to see. Xixi. His handsome face was extremely pale, dark circles under his eyes, and his gaze was filled with bloodshot veins. The red mole at the corner of his eye was dim and lifeless. Xixi, I'm sorry. I thought the post station was safe, just for one day. You just need wait for me one day. I would hide Lon Lon, then I would come back for you. He said Lon Lon was really afraid of the marriage alliance, so the Grand Princess came up with this idea. Find someone with a similar age and build, send her to the post station first, then secretly send Lon Lon away. Xixi, I didn't expect those people to be so bold. In the end, it's my fault. He swayed, looking utterly defeated. As if one harsh word from me could break him. Xixi, in the future. There is no future. I bit my lip, staring straight at him. Chen, we have no future. I don't want to marry you. He stood there dumbfounded, his body buried in the shadow of the setting sun. His eyes were red, his whole being filled with loneliness and despair. No, Xixi, you can't break off the engagement. I like you. My elder sister came over with the servants, full of anger. Chen, you insidious villain. You dared to climb over the wall when you were not allowed to enter through the main gate. Our Xixi has suffered so much because of you. You shameless thing, how dare you come and beg Xixi? Someone, beat him hard. If he dies, it's on me. Shameless thing, filthy and rotten, claiming to love Xixi, then why hurt her? And you dare mention marriage? Let me tell you, no way. When father returned, he held a letter of annulment in his hand, and beside him stood Zhou Shermu. He brought a stack of storybooks. Somehow, he ended up staying at the manor. My father said it was to thank the savior who saved my life, but my elder sister hesitated and said nothing. I returned to my old ways, playing freely during the day and secretly reading storybooks at night. My father and sister said I was carefree, but Zhou Shermu just smiled. That gentle smile seemed to see right through me, through my clumsy disguise. I'm not carefree. I just don't want to recall. He has a long scar on his face, and I feel like there's a long scar on my heart too. When I'm alone and think of those things, the scar acts up, pulling at me painfully. Zhou Shermu often accompanies me to read storybooks. He reads quickly, while I carefully read page by page. When he finishes, he patiently waits for me to finish the page. When we reach the hero saving the beauty scene, I nervously clench my fists, feeling a slight sting in my heart. He then throws the storybook far away. Boring, not as good as what I write. I scratch my face, very surprised. Your Highness writes storybooks? He raises his hand, and several guards bring over a box filled to the brim. Seeing my jaw drop in surprise, he looks proud. Just a pastime when I'm bored, not worth mentioning. I cling to the box like a turtle. Can you give them all to me? His eyebrows arch gracefully, every move exuding nobility. Then Xixi must also give me something of yours. I nod repeatedly, it's only fair to reciprocate. That night, I had a nightmare again. Dreamt of the day at the post station without Zhou Shermu. Dreamt I still married Chen. At first, he pitied me, apologized to me, said everything was his fault. Later, he started avoiding me, didn't want to see me, hated my touch. In the dream, I was always crying. Cried until I went blind. Dreamt of my mother, she was in a strange place, just like me, always crying. When I woke up, I was so scared I rushed out, running wildly in the courtyard. Passing by Zhou Shermu's residence, I heard soft sobbing. Hearing his voice, I felt inexplicably at ease. I peeked through a crack in the door. I saw him holding the rabbit fur cloak I gave him, his Adam's apple moving constantly. I was so scared I sat down on the ground, crying loudly. Such a Zhou Shermu, so terrifying. He hurried out, looking flustered. He sighed. Slowly bent down, wiped away my tears. A bitter smile tugged at the corner of his mouth. You found out after all. Xixi, don't treat me as your savior anymore. Other saviors wouldn't be like me, full of coveting. The next time I saw Chen was at the emperor's birthday banquet. He had lost a lot of weight, his face pale, his eyes drooping, no longer the spirited person he once was. My eyes were covered by someone beside me. Zhou Shermu leaned close to my ear. Don't look at dirty things, it's easy to have nightmares at night. His voice was low and deep, just like that night. I nodded dazedly. I won't look, Xixi won't look. Gu Chen dragged his body and stopped 3 steps away from me. Xixi, I'm sorry, I didn't protect the peach blossom cake outside Lin Manor that day. And now I haven't protected you. I was blinded by so-called gratitude. I looked him in the eye, word by word, but Gu Chen, I saved you too. He suddenly laughed. Laughing, he coughed up a mouthful of blood, staggered back. His eyes full of desolation. Halfway through the banquet, the emperor suddenly called me forward. Just as I was about to get up, my fingers were hooked. Zhou Shermu sat lazily, his beautiful phoenix eyes glancing at the emperor above. I wonder what father wants with Xixi. The emperor said irritably, I have no daughter, Xixi is obedient and sensible. I want to recognize her as my adopted daughter and make her a princess. Before I could react, someone jumped out and shouted angrily. Last month, Duchess Lanlan was escorted to the South Barbarians by Zhou Shermu's people. The matter of swapping the marriage partner was left unresolved due to the Grand Princess's unreasonable meddling. My daughter is suffering in the South Barbarians, yet you want to make a lowly fool a princess. Brother, have you considered my feelings? The emperor's face darkened. Get out, if you keep causing trouble, I'll punish you. The Grand Princess was stunned, incredulous. Brother, you're actually scolding me? You never scolded me, even when I sent Tanging to the South Barbarians 10 years ago, you didn't scold me. Lin Xixi is a South Barbarian's bastard, why should she be a princess? Tanging is my mother's name. My ears were covered by a pair of slender hands. Xixi, don't listen. But it was too late. I seemed to know everything. It turns out my mother was supposed to marry the Grand Princess's husband. But she was secretly harmed by the Grand Princess and sent to the South Barbarians as the marriage princess. After the matter was exposed, my mother was brought back, her expression dazed. My father was my mother's cousin, after discussing with his wife. He took my mother in, preserving her reputation. Also preserved me in her belly. It turns out my father is not my father. My elder sister is not my sister. I am a descendant of the South Barbarians. A bastard. A living, unbearable past placed before my mother's eyes. Old stories were uncovered, and the ministers exchanged glances. The Grand Princess pointed at the emperor's nose and scolded. Don't forget how you got your throne. If it weren't for me, could you sit there peacefully? You wanted me to marry for peace before, and now you want my Lanlan to do the same. Why? I was born into wealth, why should I go to such a lowly place? What makes Tanging better than me? Why is she liked by so many people, even my husband can't forget her? Ha ha ha, that day in the carriage, I recognized her bastard at a glance. Her mother and daughter are really alike, they look alike and are equally foolish. Since she's a bastard of the South Barbarians, she should be sent back to the South Barbarians. Given to her uncles and brothers, let them enjoy her, ha ha ha. Brother, you actually want a bastard to be a princess, aren't you feeling guilty? It's a joke, someone like you would feel guilty? I poisoned the empress back then, and you didn't easily let me go. Afraid of this mad crown prince, so you sent him far away. Brother, sometimes you're really good to me, sometimes you wish I were dead. What do you take me for? The Grand Princess went mad. The emperor's face was gloomy, his whole body exuded a chill, his gaze was vicious. Xixi, take this. A sharp sword appeared in my hand, Zhou Shermu held my hand and stabbed towards the Grand Princess. Brother, save me! The emperor waved his hand, and hidden guards jumped out. But Zhou Shermu moved faster. By the time the guards arrived, the sword was already in the Grand Princess's chest. She fell straight back. Madman, bastard, you all deserve to die. And that slut of a mother of yours, the vixen, seducing my husband, all deserve to die. Lanlan, my daughter. Brother. She breathed no more. The emperor's slap came over, caught by Zhou Shermu. She's your aunt. She's guilty, but you can't kill her. You really are a madman, why did you come back? Zhou Shermu took out a handkerchief and gently wiped the blood off my face. Xixi, don't be afraid, the bad person is dead. She truly deserved to die for dirtying you. His eyes were still gentle, with a hint of pathological obsession. He waved his hand, and thousands of soldiers rushed in. The emperor hid behind the guards, trembling with anger. Rebellious son, do you want to rebel? Zhou Shermu smiled. Where's the rebellion? Clearly, father heard of the Grand Princess's atrocities, got furious, and died from anger. I shrank in his embrace, listening to the clash of blades, not daring to breathe. This was the real Zhou Shermu, the mad crown prince in name and reality. He gently stroked my back, his tone hurt. Xixi, are you afraid? The emperor passed away. I was settled in the palace. When my elder sister came to see me, she brought news. Someone sent a letter to Chen. After reading it, he went mad, lost his mind, and became a beggar at the city gate. Truly retribution. My Xixi is blessed. From now on you'll be the madam of the 6 palaces, the empress of the dynasty. Everyone said I caught Zhou Shermu's eye and soared to the sky. Some ministers opposed me becoming empress, wanting to offer their daughters instead. Zhou Shermu walked among them with a sword. Who says my Xixi can't be empress? The ministers trembled, each kneeling outside. They kowtowed for 3 days, spoke well of me for 3 days, begging me to be empress. My elder sister held my hand, saying father cried many times at home. She did too. They missed me. My eyes welled up. But I'm not father's child, not your sister, not Lin family's daughter. I am a bastard of the South barbarians. She burst into tears. Silly Xixi, you are my sister, Lin family's daughter. Don't say such things again. I cried out loud in her arms. Sister, I feel so bad. At night, I dreamed of my mother. She smiled kindly and sweetly, combing my hair when I was young. My Xixi, you will surely be happy and healthy in the future. The person you like in the future must love you dearly. Don't be like me, who saw the wrong person and ruined my life. I struggled desperately in midair, wanting to hug her. She coughed for a while, put away the blood-stained handkerchief, and continued to dress me. I probably won't live to see my Xixi grow up. I can't bear to leave my Xixi. Zhou Shermu ascended the throne. I became the empress of the dynasty. But he never held me when sleeping. The sexual guide my elder sister gave me was never used. Rumors spread that I was not favored. Favored or not, it didn't matter. I could eat a lot of delicious food every day. When bored, I'd have father and sister come to the palace to play with me. When sad, I'd force Zhou Shermu to write stories to lull me to sleep. He was very busy, but always made time to eat and play with me. Once he got drunk, clinging to me. Xixi, are you afraid of me? I scratched my head, puzzled. Why should I be afraid? He pressed his forehead against mine, seemingly relieved. I was overthinking. Xixi is the purest person. That's how my sister described me, too pure and kind. When I liked someone, I'd use all my strength to like them. She said Xixi was very brave. He cuddled in my arms again. Let me tell Xixi a secret. The letter to Chen was sent by me. He went mad after reading it. Ha ha ha, satisfying, really satisfying. I asked him what the letter said. He suddenly sobered up. Nothing. I kept asking. His smile changed. Xixi, do you want to play the lip-biting game in the storybook? I pouted. Is it like this? He held my waist, placing me on his lap. One person can't bite lips. I'll play with Xixi. Oh, so this is the lip-biting game. Zhou Shermu's perspective. I am an ominous person. Everyone in the palace fears me. Father scolds mother for giving birth to a madman. Mother hugs me and cries, comforting me not to be afraid. But I don't understand. I only killed a few disobedient palace servants. They appear respectful to me, but secretly they follow the Grand Princess and use witchcraft to curse me. Father doesn't believe me. He only trusts the Grand Princess. Mother believes me, but she died, killed by the Grand Princess. Later, I was sent out of the capital, raised in the most sacred temple. There, I learned to disguise myself. How to pretend to be a gentleman, to be like a celestial being. Luckily, my appearance is very convincing, and as I grew up, both my master and senior brothers believed me. Believed that I had changed, no longer obsessed with killing. I secretly plotted, weaving a large web in the capital, and returned when the time was ripe. During the massacre in the capital, someone entered my sight. She was a blind little fool, knowing nothing, incredibly pure. Her mother was kind but persecuted by the Grand Princess. Her husband was hesitant and weak, causing her to be humiliated. Yet she remained soft-hearted. Hearing about the troubles of the servants' families, she cried with pity and gave away large sums of silver. Encountering little beggars on the roadside, she bought buns and sat with them to eat. I was accidentally stabbed, dying, lying in an alley. She happened to pass by, smelled the strong scent of blood, and didn't run away. Dazed, unable to see me, her pretty little face frowned. She still saved me, and asked for nothing in return. I told her I was the current crown prince. She just smiled, telling me not to deceive people anymore. I said I really was the crown prince, and she stopped smiling. Turns out you are like me, without a mother. I promised to give her gold and jewels. She walked to the window. Clearly unable to see, not knowing what she was thinking. If you really are the crown prince, then build a big palace and let those beggars live there. They have no mothers, no homes. She stood there, as if light was shining through. Later, I succeeded in revenge and ascended to the highest throne. But my mind kept thinking about that little fool, sending people to inquire. Your Majesty, she has died. She died when the peach blossoms were in full bloom. I waved my hand, ordered everyone out, and sat alone on the dragon throne for a long, long time. I fell asleep in a daze. When I opened my eyes again, I returned to the past. I rode swiftly to that post station. The post station that caused her lifelong pain. Fortunately, everything was still in time. She was small, cowering, not daring to make a sound. Clinging to my belt to beg me not leave her. My heart broke. Chen was truly foolish, twice falling into the water, clearly saved by the same person. Yet he was blinded by sweet words, mistaking his savior, missing his destiny. I took Xixi back to the Eastern Palace. My father scolded me for being unscrupulous, for taking by force. I looked at the girl lying in the courtyard, basking in the sun, laughing heartily at a storybook. The feeling of possession in my heart grew stronger. She can be without me, but I cannot be without her. What does it matter to take by force? As long as she is willing, I can give her everything I have. For the rest of my life, I only wish for Xixi, 10 lifetimes of peace and happiness.